All right, welcome back. This is episode 11 of the Sioux City Show, produced by Honeywave Media and hosted by me, Taylor Grote. In the studio today, I have Daniel Aquino, the CEO of Forewarn Records. Daniel, go ahead and give us a quick rundown of what Forewarn Records is.
401 Records. It's pretty much it's an independent record label here in Sioux City. Started last year. I want to say about March time is when we got all the official documentations. We're an official legit business. But the mission behind 401 Records is to provide a home for independent rappers who want to kind of take their music to a whole different level, by putting them, by giving them challenges they've never encountered before. Telling them to keep a positive motto in life, helping others, and just, trying to do what you can to help one another out, pretty much. I mean, that's just the whole mission behind 401 Records is, we have a saying called "For Love, for Life, Forewarn." So you just want to live by that, and we do good behind that.
Sick. So how many people do you have on the roster right now?
On the roster, separate acts, I want to say it's actually about 14, if I'm correct.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Dang. Cool.
Yeah, we got a couple singers, we got some DJs, we got some rap groups, and in those rap groups, they got their own individual stuffs too, so they are technically considered separate acts. Aside from that, one of them being, for example, the 402, young talented group out of South Sioux, and that includes Jerry Dobbs, Ricky Pedrosa, and Victor Coronado, very young talented artists. And another one would be About That Life, Fetty Fred, and then Poetic as well too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Slick. I like it. So who was the first person on the record label? Or was there a reason that you were like, I'm making a record label? Was it for one person or was it?
Well, the idea behind 401 Records has been around for a very long time, and the way 401 Records actually originally started was by my graphics designer. It originally started as 401 Apparel. It was a clothing line that was going to put a lot of people on, just energetic, live off energy, again, the for life, for love, forewarn type deal. Mm-hmm. It went on, it succeeded, and it got put away for a while. And then me being very good friends with the graphic designer, brought it up again saying, hey, would you mind if I take forewarn and build it into something different? And he said, absolutely, I'd love to see what you do with it. And here we are again. But the way I originally got the first artist was, it would have been, I want to say we had a Christmas party in 2016, and I was just plastered fucking drunk, man. And we went to Princess over on the west side. And I went up to get a drink, and then there was another guy just sitting there, having a couple beers too, and sure as hell that was C-Note. We just made general conversation. He's just like, rough night. I'm just like, yeah, man, how'd you know? He's like, I can tell. And then we just started talking, and I looked at him. I was like, man, you look very awfully familiar. I was like, you do music at all by chance? He's like, yup. We just started conversating, and sure as hell, we were sitting there talking for like an hour and a half, just going back and forth, shooting ideas. And I brought the idea of, hey, I'm actually looking to start up a record label. Why don't we just team up and go from there? And then a month went down the road, and then we got into the studio, started doing songs, and I mean, the rest is history.
Slick. I like that. And C-Note was in the Battle of the Bands this year. He made it.
Yes.
3 rounds?
He made it. He won the first round, then we lost to Colin Grace on the second round.
Yeah. Who were in the final. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Colin Grace is amazing too, man. They're freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Big fan of theirs too. Actually, I had C-Note, Jerry Dobbs. I had a rock band at the time that was signed with 401 Records called the Wood Notes. They were in there as well too. And then About That Life, which was Fred and Poetic. All them guys were on Battle of the Bands too. So,
mm-hmm. That's and it's a hard road if you are a hip hop act in the Battle of the Bands at the Hard Rock Casino. But
yep.
Dad ended up pulling it out, but they also had like a viral track in the middle of that, so that doesn't hurt anything.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So how common is it for like a record label to exist in a market with 80,000 people like Sioux City? Is it common that is there a lot of, I guess, like independent record labels that are in towns of this size?
There's there's a lot of them that claim to be a record label. Just groups of people, they call themselves a record label, but the way I look at it is they're not officially a record label until they got the actual business structure behind it before they're legit. They can legally say we are an independent record label. We got paperwork behind it. A lot of people, just mistake the idea of them having a group of people calling themselves a record label type deal. I don't know. It's different. I guess
it's probably the same way I laugh at whenever anybody calls themselves the CEO. It's like, no.
It's like, where's your paperwork, man? I got all my documentation saying I'm officially president of this company, so on and so on. So
absolutely. So where does that like drive, I guess, come from? Because you not being like a rapper yourself, where does it come from? Like the business mentality when it comes to music.
It all originally came from my mentor. He goes by the stage name the ODS. He taught me more of the business side of things. The things that I should be worried about. He said, anybody can rap, but the real people who make it are always more on the business side. They got to understand the business side of music things. And if you don't ever get to the point where you understand the business side, you're not really going to get as far as you should in your musical career. Mm-hmm. So that's why. Go ahead.
And that's like absolutely true, because now you look at in 2018, that's the year we're in. All of like these big rappers, these dudes on top of their game, and not only them, but especially the people who are coming up.
Right.
They're like marketers first.
Yeah, exactly.
Business managers first, and then they're musicians. Like you say what you will about whoever, like who's the biggest stereotypical idiot, like a Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay.
Like the guy knows how to get press.
Yeah, exactly.
In a system where prior to the rise of the internet, where everybody has a chance to get their voice heard, you really had to be a chosen one for the executives at a record label before they ever put effort behind you.
Exactly.
Not only do you have to be the chosen one to get on a record label, you have to be in there. Most record labels work on that 80-20 rule, where 80% of the acts they sign are just going to be like, they don't work out.
Right.
20% is who they're putting their money behind. So
exactly.
You can get a record deal and you don't even have a chance to make anything. And then your projects are getting shelved because you don't want to compete with other artists. So it's so cool now to see like the fusion of business mindset, business how-to, and music making. And you really have to have both at this point to be able to make waves. I guess Gary Vaynerchuk is somebody who I pay a lot of attention to in the business world. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
No.
He's like a social media king. He's like the biggest voice probably in the social media business space. But like he does a daily vlog, and like every episode, Nipsey Hussle will come by his office, or he'll go to the studio and meet Nipsey Hussle. And this is like a 45-year-old Jewish dude from New York. You know what I mean? He's not like in the rap community. He's an independent business leader who's made his living marketing and just like risen to the top of the game there. And now he has one of the biggest social ad agencies in the world. And it's crazy how like I think he was just talking the other day about how he's creating a new online platform that's like 137, I think is what it's called, 137 magazine or something like that, where it's going to be specifically about like it's a men's magazine that's about the fusion of entrepreneurship and hip hop culture.
Right.
And it's just like everything you said about having to know the business side is absolutely true.
Yeah, I mean that's at the end of the day, it's you got to have the business mentality more than just I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Or I'm a rock star type mentality. You gotta be a businessman yourself.
Absolutely. So were you ever a musician yourself?
I like to think so at one point in time, but that was a big failure, man. I never actually recorded anything. I was just being stupid, kind of doing my own little thing.
Yeah.
And from time to time, we'll be messing in the studio, and I'm like, man, let me try to get into the recording studio once, and I'll do maybe like a few sentences, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, no more. I'm all right, no more.
Rapping or instruments or anything?
Just rapping,
okay.
just rapping, and it's I know it's not for me, so I don't do it at all. It's when you're in the studio recording, man, you just kind of get in the zone, and out of nowhere, you kind of just start yourself, you start feeling it, and you're just like, man, I can probably really try it. And then I go in there and try it. I'm like, God damn, this is a lot harder than it is.
No
than
doubt.
it looks. So,
and you guys, speaking of the studio, you're in the process of building your own recording studio in Sioux City, right?
exactly. Yep. As far as I know, it's the only legit studio with the business front up, advertising, we're an open recording studio. We actually just got done laying the carpet not too long ago. We still got to do a couple more things to it before it's officially open. We kind of backtrack. We didn't backtrack, but we fell behind schedule quite a bit. The original plan was to be open by the first week of June.
Mm-hmm. As these things do.
Exactly. And what happened, we tried ordering carpet, and we thought it would have been one of those things where, okay, we can get it over type deal, and that's not the case. We have to wait 2-3 weeks before that carpet can even come in, and then we have to find the time to get it put in and everything as well too.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a work in progress, but it's coming along really well too, though.
And that's going to be open to like any local musician.
Yep, it's going to be open to any local musician. We've already had a couple people reach out to us saying, hey, can you get us in? When would work? And right now we're trying to make it work a little bit, just so we can at least have some people going in there already and saying, hey, I've recorded there, and they do an amazing job. And the mastermind behind the studio that's going to be doing all the mixing and mastering is Briar Burns.
Okay.
So
I just actually listened to a track that he mixed and mastered last night by Jay the Kid.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was recorded at your studio or not, but
was it the one take challenge, I believe? Yep. He messaged me about that one. He's he was happy with it. We had,
sounded great. So
yeah. And then I had some other local rapper around the area go in there and do the same thing, recorded with Briar, and he shot a message to the page, and he's like, this is the absolute best thing I've ever heard in my rap career that I've been doing it. So it's already getting positive reviews. So I'm excited to see what it's actually going to do once it's all open.
I like that. So like, do you have? I mean, this might be a chance to plug, or maybe you want to hold off. But do you have any like rates or anything figured out? Like hourly studio time.
The rates are public already.
Okay.
We're doing $40 an hour and $120 for a 4-hour block. The only reason we're doing that is just to be able to make it affordable to
extremely reasonable.
Extremely reasonable. Yep. And to stay competitive, what we also got to do is within that hour, let's say you get a song done in 20 minutes, we can mix and master it and make it part of the rate. Because there's a lot of people around the area who will try to charge you separate for mixing and mastering.
Rates
exactly.
And mastering, yeah.
And in bigger studios, yeah, that is the case. Bigger studios, when you get more well-known producers involved in the industry or engineers, yeah, they charge you extra for mixing and mastering. And around here, around the Siouxland area, you can't really do that.
No.
We're not in LA, we're not in New York City, we're not in Dallas, whatever major city. We can't have ridiculous rates.
The way I always put it is that nobody has a record label behind them, like one of the majors, like
right.
a Sony or a BMG or whatever. They don't have a corporation throwing money at their career. So
right.
It's the same thing with me shooting music videos. People like hear what I charge for a music video and like, dude, you're doing that for way too cheap. Don't. And I'm like, that is above a lot of budgets here in Sioux City.
Right.
So it's definitely not too cheap, But yeah, that's really exciting though. That I'm excited to hopefully hear an uptick in the overall quality of the actual like sound engineering of the music coming out of Sioux City,
right.
because there's been a whole lot of raw talent for a long time, and there's a select few individuals kind of making their way up to Sioux Falls, usually up at Cat House Studio, like to make something professional. And there's a few people with higher end in-home studios or whatever, but this is exciting for the overall scene.
Yeah, and I mean, and everything we've done up to date has been done up at Cat House Studios. Mike Dresch is a legend. Personally, to me, the guy's a legend. You throw any track at him, and the guy's gonna adapt to it. We've had several hip hop songs where, we think adding a guitar would elevate the song to a whole different level, and he'll just take it. And sometimes he'll be like, yeah, I don't know if it needs a guitar, and we're just like, Mike, try it out real quick, see how it sounds, and then he adapts to it, and then it elevates the song to a whole different level, and it's just like, it makes it feel more real, I guess, than just a regular clicks and clacks, and that's just what we enjoy out of it. It makes it sound good.
Definitely, yeah, and it's like a personalized deal, or not like personalized, but it's an individual touch, I guess.
Yep.
And at Forewarned, do you guys have an in-house producer by any chance?
Yes, I'm actually bringing on board a couple. I've been talking to a couple guys. one of them being Brian Burns himself. Not only can he mix and master, but he can actually produce beats. And he showed me some of the beats that he has, and they're very unique beats that are on a whole different level too.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then I've kind of been going back and forth with Lance Kaija Flose.
Okay. Yeah.
He, me and him were still in the talks about a little bit of everything as to what's been going on. Because I know at one point, I don't know if you know this or not, but I did bring him onto 401 Records at one point.
Yep.
We did a song called Empire.
Uh-huh.
And then he told me, hey, I also make beats. I have several beats that we can use, and we're just gonna build off that idea and kind of help him out that way too, and bring him still officially be part of 401 Records, because we did part ways.
Yeah.
But we parted ways in a good way. We're not hostile towards one another.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just one of the other things that we have in the talks. Bringing him back on board as a producer. A couple other local guys around the area too.
That's nice. Yeah, I really like local producers. I really like Synopsis or George Quint, who's technically with the 712 crew, but they, Jay is obviously spent some time inside of 401 Studios, so yeah, that's nice. A lot of crossover there. Do you have any big picture lofty ideas, past the record studio for 99.99% of people who call themselves a record label,
right,
isn't even in like the immediate future, but like now you're making it happen. Do you have okay, I got that, what's the next thing?
Yep. So the next thing is we made the news on this one too. We were on KTIV or no, what the hell, KCAU 9.
Okay.
We were on the news about it because what we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with this nonprofit organization called Music for Awareness. The whole point behind that is we want to be able to teach kids, how to write their emotions on a pen and pad rather than having to commit suicide, turn to drugs, things of that nature. So we want to find a way to get the community involved with Music for Awareness and just have them, take out their emotions on a pen and pad rather than hurting others around them.
Mm-hmm.
I've had several friends pass away due to suicide, whereas maybe we could have sat down, talked to them, and sometimes, unfortunately, they feel like that's the only outlet that they have. And mental health is a serious issue. I have one of my acts right now that's currently going through it. I don't want to say a name, but it's hard seeing them struggle. I can see it, and it makes you realize it's not just about, oh, you're just being a wimp. I mean, there's really a whole different level to it that's doctors have to get involved and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, we want to make it, we want to use music for people to be aware of mental health, suicide, to help with, how do I put it, to help people so they prevent from committing suicide, So yeah, and that's a program we're looking to launch fall, possibly getting pushed back towards winter, unfortunately, but it's just, we want to make sure everything's in order for it. I want to reach out to, to the college, get some, professors involved, saying, hey, how would you feel we can use one of your students to earn credits this way somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
To keep it professional, because I'm not a doctor. None of my acts are doctors. They don't have certificates. They're not going to school for that.
Yep.
So I'd want to get somebody who's in the process of learning how to do something like that.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that this is also to bring it back to hip hop in general.
Right.
I think it's a super productive time in hip hop with Kanye West coming out with the Ye album and then him and Kid Cudi with Kids See Ghosts, which were basically albums about mental health.
Right.
Seeing that become acceptable to be talked about, I think is a big step forward, because it's going from the ultra manly macho version of rap music that was late 90s all the way into the 2000s. I think that perpetuated a lot of negative stereotypes, but also birthed some of the greatest music of all time.
Exactly.
But to have the other side be open about depression and that and the things that go along with that, and getting Kid Cudi was talking openly about hey, I'm stepping away from music for a while. I'm going to go get the help I need to be in a better place. I think that that's super important for young men to hear. I think, because I know that being from the Midwest, and I don't know what, are you from Sioux City originally?
Yeah.
But being from this area, I know the men in my life growing up were never like, hey, if you are having a rough time mentally, like you should go get help. You know, it was like, yo, if you think you have it bad, you need to shut up and like
Yeah.
work harder, right? Like, so to hear
Exactly.
as a young man, like Kid Cudi really got big when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, hearing this dude talk about, you know, depression and like loneliness and stuff like
Right.
that is like a bit, you know, it showed me a different way of, or a different version of what being a man can be.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's super cool, and I'm excited to see like what final form that whole idea and concept takes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we got the record label, we got charity, You're killing it. How old are you?
I'm 25. I just turned 25 June 4th.
Just turned 25.
Yep.
Okay, sick. So that's awesome, man. And you got a day job. You got
Yep, got a full-time day job. I'm a car salesman. So.
pitching cars. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Nice. So like, tell me, you're from Sioux City. Like, how did you get involved in the music scene here?
Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm from Sioux City. I was born in San Jose, California. We moved to Oak Point, South Dakota. We moved to Oak Point when I was about 8-9 years old, you know, and raised there. And I didn't move to Sioux City until I was about 18 years old.
Okay.
And when I did that move, this would have been like back in 2011. That was shortly after I stopped working with the Cleveland rap group out of Cleveland rap group called Real Industry Assassins, RA.
Mm-hmm.
They did it big, and you know, one of the members, the ODS, who's my mentor in this whole music business, he told me to go out and just kind of explore, you know, see what's out there in your own town, kind of see how it goes.
So wait,
And-
time out. How did the Cleveland thing come about? Like, how did a dude from Sioux City get linked up with a rap group from Cleveland?
Well, what it was is, you know, in high school, I was a big ICP fan at the time, man. You know,
Okay.
just, you know, juggalo.
A young
this,
juggalo, all right.
yeah. I never got to the extreme of wearing the face paint, you know, the face paint and all that other stuff. But I was just a fan of the music, and you know, at one point they had a rap contest, and you know, they said, you know, the winner would get featured on one of their albums, and you know, sure as hell he won that competition. I was just looking more into it, more and more into it, and eventually I came across his own personal Facebook, and I don't know, we're just that was before I got involved with like any promotion or anything like that. And when I did that, you know, I asked him, I was like, hey man, you know, if you ever need help, I'm a big fan of your music, you know, I'll do what I can to show my friends. And that's when he pretty much took me under his wing and, you know, showed me how to do more of the business side of parts, business side of things, marketing, and, you know, everything like that. So that's how I got involved with them.
Yeah.
So that's
And you
how,
did that from Sioux City the whole time, like just
yeah,
back
from
and
Sioux
forth
City the
communication?
entire time.
Okay.
Yep, I would help manage their YouTube page, MySpace page at the time.
Yeah.
You know, kind of help get more familiar with just like Facebook at the time and whatnot. Because I mean, that was Facebook barely got started in what 07, 06?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. So I mean, at that time, technically, it was still a little bit newer.
Yeah.
So we're still learning how to do all that. So I was just helping them with promotions and whatnot like that. But you know, fast forward a little bit, he just said, you know, try to branch out, you know, find some local talent. And personally, I never knew of a hip hop scene in Sioux City. You know, I thought, you know, nobody's a rapper in Sioux City. So what I did was I got pretty good with using Wix.com, you know, creating, you know, independent, you know, websites for musicians.
Have you made the jump to Squarespace?
I have not, man.
Oh, no, you got
I'm still currently using Wix, which is I think I might
ditch Wix, Squarespace. But
Yeah, I'm about to, man. I've been looking at GoDaddy. GoDaddy's just as bad, but
yeah,
I don't know.
GoDaddy's not bad for hosting, but you can host through Squarespace as well. So.
Exactly. So I've been looking at that one recently too. Sure. So, but anyways, no, I came across a couple rappers. At the time, there was this would have been like 2011. So there was this rapper, female rapper.
Snow the Product.
No, God, no. From Sioux City, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I think she used to go by the name Chaotic, something like that. Yep. Yeah. And then, you know, I linked up with her. I helped her out with doing the website, and then one thing led to another. We had a bad falling out. Yeah. Then from there, I found this other rapper that went by the name Nick Loggins. Nick Loggins was doing shows around the area, doing shows at Chesterfields and whatnot, and you know, from there, just I had not a bad falling out, but it was one of those things where, nobody in Sioux City is kind of like in the level where they should be. So I just veered away from that and started reaching out, kind of doing my own things, sponsoring mixtapes. I reached out to people like Whitney Payton, big underground female rapper. She's really good. Have you ever heard of her?
I don't think so.
Check her out. She's pretty good.
Sure.
I sponsored one of her mixtapes, and then from there went on to Cryptic Wisdom, which at the time Cryptic was still blowing up, kind of just getting there. And now the guy's touring all the damn time.
Yeah.
So I sponsored his mixtape, and from there it just went to one thing to another. And probably the biggest mixtape I sponsored, or second biggest I want to say, is this rapper out of Los Angeles named Belay. Brian Lay's his name, but stage name Belay. Very good friends with Brownie Radke of Falling in Reverse.
Okay.
He reached out to me and said, hey, we got this project working, and I need you to find me a beat. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but you'll be surprised once it does. So I contacted a producer. We got a beat made. I sent it out to him. Sure as hell, he got Ronnie Radke on that track. So I went from there to getting a hold of Cut Calhoun, who used to be signed to Strange Music.
Yeah.
We revamped his Flames mixtape that he released back in like 2004, 2005, but never got the actual promotion that it should have.
Yeah, that was a fire mixtape.
Yeah, yep. And then I went on and reached out to him.
That was the one that was like right before Bunk Rock Bitch, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Around that same time frame, yeah. But anyways, I reached out to him. We redesigned everything. We did a whole new front cover, a whole new back cover. We made hard copies for it and everything. I went down to Kansas City, met up with him, gave everything to him, and got everything taken care of. So that was probably one of the biggest successes I've had, with mixtapes and music. And
unfortunately, he's not like Tech Nine's right hand man anymore.
No,
Yeah.
He's not. He went on and did his own thing called Black Gold Entertainment.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty solid with that. Haven't heard a lot of material coming out of him lately. Hopefully he's coming out with something pretty good. So
For sure.
Worth the wait. Hopefully. But that's pretty much it with Cut Calhoun and whatnot. So.
So I like that. Like it was like a whole regional deal even
Yeah.
before you brought it back. Like
Exactly.
Now, like it's pretty strictly Sioux City, right? Your roster is like
My
Sioux City
roster. My roster is mainly Sioux City. I got 2 people from Cleveland right now too.
Dope.
It's all of it's a lot of it's mainly Sioux City.
Yeah. So like a lot of my listeners aren't music industry insiders. So like what does a record label like provide for an artist?
A record label provides direction for the artist. The way I do it, some record labels are just there to give them money type deal.
Yeah.
The way I like to do it is I want to provide them with a direction to go. Hey, I know you're doing this, but I have a feeling that you're better off doing it this way. Being more of a hyper energetic rapper. Kind of break them out of the get them out of their comfort zone, put them in different challenges.
Yeah.
And when they adapt to that, these guys put themselves on a whole different level that they never thought that they could be.
Yep.
And sometimes, not sometimes, but I mean all the time we provide, graphics design, sponsorship ads, things that a record label should be doing in general. Helping push one another's releases. Whenever one song releases, we all help and push it at the same time. Let it get the views that it needs to get, the streams that it needs to get, and everything that way. And everything that way. Yeah.
So I know, like, I do a fair amount of work within the rap industry.
Yep.
And in the music industry in general. And I know that being a businessman myself, every once in a while, I just want to, don't stop canceling on me last second.
Oh, God.
Do you have that shit with working within this industry? Are you ever like, God damn, can you guys show up to a meeting?
Oh, man. He's going to get mad at me for calling him out on this one, but C-Note. Oh, my God. I love the guy to death, but sometimes, holy hell, I can strangle the hell out of him from time to time. I mean, he's my business partner now, too. And, me and him, we bounce ideas off of each other, but it's just, he can do a little bit of a better job that way, too. And sometimes when I schedule studio time up in Sioux Falls as well, too, that's money we're spending. So I expect the artist to show up, and sometimes they won't.
Yep.
And they won't get back to me until a couple days after.
Be careful with that water bottle. Yeah. The clicking picks up.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
the artist will get back to you a couple days later.
Yeah, the artist will get back to me a couple days later, and it's just like, dude, where the hell were you, man? Like, I just burned all this studio session, and what the hell? What's the excuse?
Yeah.
And they don't really say anything. And that's just one thing I've been trying to lock down a little bit more, and that's what I came up with the idea of introducing fines to the record label.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is, if they do something they're not supposed to, they get in trouble, or they don't pay attention, they don't follow the rules. Because I mean, it's a business, so in a business you got to follow the rules. You got to follow the way everything's structured. So let's say they miss a meeting, and let's say, well, guess what? You're not gonna get any promotion. You're not gonna get any studio time. Blah blah blah. Up until you pay, let's just say a $20 fee.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do with that money, I turn around and actually invest it into a charity of their choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fine to kind of keep them accountable, but at the same time, if they do that fine, it's not like I pocket the money.
Yeah.
No, that goes back for a cause. Go ahead and pick a charity, and then we'll donate there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, everything gets turned around for a good cause, but it's a lot of the times it's for accountability. But yeah, I mean, in this industry, you got to learn how to have patience. I mean, it's very, very critical to learn how to have patience, and if you don't, not only are you not going to have a happy artist, but how do you live like that in general? Not being able to be a patient person.
No doubt.
So yeah.
So like in 2018, now that everybody gives away their music for free, right?
Yeah.
What do routes to monetization look like as a record label, and like how your artists are positioned or whatever?
The way we do it, I'm completely against giving it for free as a free download.
Yeah.
Mostly because everybody has Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever streaming website that may be. And I tell them, why don't we just record it? You get the actual rights for that, and we can launch it on streaming websites. And not only that, I mean, you get some sort of money out of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just the direction I go with that.
You got to buy the exclusive lease from the producers.
Not necessarily. I don't do that. The reason I don't do that is just financially it makes sense to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Depending as to which artists we work with, local producers, they'll be give me $100, give me $50, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Cool, whatever.
For sure.
But the producers that we've been working with, a lot of the times they're we go to beatstars.com. Very, very common for a lot of people to go to that website and get their beats that way.
Uh-huh.
We pay for the rights, but it's why spend $1,000 for an exclusive right? Why spend $500 for an exclusive right where you don't know if you're gonna even make your money back on that?
Mm-hmm.
And you just pay a smaller portion to have a contract, and that contract stating, you can get away with selling 5,000 copies, 2,000 copies.
Yeah.
Because anymore nowadays, man, it's hard for an underground, not just underground, but like independent, just musicians in general to generate money strictly off music.
For sure.
It doesn't exist anymore. If you upload it to Spotify, iTunes, whatever site you may use, once you start seeing your money come back from that, I mean, you're talking fractions of a penny, and you just look at it, you're like, what the hell is this?
I want to say like that summer that Happy was the biggest song of the year, the Pharrell Williams song.
Yep.
I want to say they said they made like $2,000 off that for the summer off of Spotify, and it was like, and it had like over 1 billion plays or some crazy shit like that.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. We have well over 100,000 streams on all streaming sites combined, and it's stupid.
$5.85.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much, exactly. I mean, it's pretty much, it's that low, man. It's stupid.
Yeah. That's like CPM rates, because that's what everybody always tells me. Oh, dude, put your videos on YouTube, make a YouTube channel, build up your YouTube channel. I said, let me explain this to you. CPM rates are $5 to $25 if somebody's got stupid money and doesn't know how to spend it. And so like, and that CPM is cost per 1,000.
Yep, exactly.
So it's like, you have to have 1 million views on a YouTube video before you can even expect to make back $1,000.
Exactly.
Insane.
And speaking about that, YouTube kind of screwed up by I can't monetize my videos anymore because we don't have the big enough following.
Yeah.
So YouTube came out with a new idea, said everybody's becoming YouTube partnerships, but how many of them are actually trying to keep that partnership going? So they changed it. I got an email one day saying, hey, just letting you know that your YouTube partnership isn't.
But you need 1,000 subscribers now.
Yeah,
or
you
something
got to
like
be
that.
1,000 subscribers and a minimum of like so many 100 hours of listening. You know, and we have on our YouTube page we have like 56,000 minutes combined or whatever, and that's still not good enough for them to get monetized. Like, God damn, what do we got to do?
Yeah, that's why.
But I mean, they give you instructions on how to get monetized again and whatnot, but it's just, it sucks.
I just logged into my personal account for like the first time in probably a year yesterday, and it's like, your account is approved for monetization. I was like, no, not this one. Do it for the Honeywave one. That's where I got actual videos on. Just stop
Right.
giving me my personal shit. I don't give a damn. But yeah, it's a slow grind, and that's like everybody who's got their big get rich on the internet shit. Like,
No, it don't work like that, man.
the only way to get rich on the internet is to sell people bullshit, telling them that you'll get them rich on the internet.
Exactly.
Like, oh, buy my course for 10 easy steps to make $1 million on YouTube.
Yep.
You buy the course. Oh, sell videos to suckers and YouTube pre-roll ads. That's how you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, whenever I see these rappers talking, oh, I got so much money off my music, I'm like, bullshit, show me. Show me. Because last month we got 16,000 streams total for the month of April, because it's backtrack a couple months. So we got 16,000 and it only paid out $80.
Yeah.
Off 16,000 streams, man. That's just, it's stupid. It's like, bullshit,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's the industry, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I'm looking at that 16,000. Like,
Yeah, back in the day, you
it's not
think about it.
horrible.
You know,
Yeah.
and I had today we were in the studio and I had a conversation with Mike Dresch about it too, and he said people that were in the 70s had it made. If you were a musician in the 70s, you had it made because you had vinyl.
Yeah.
Then it went to 8-track. So what happened? People were buying those 8-tracks of an album that was already made. Then from 8-track it went to cassettes it went to CDs, so on and so on. So people kept on buying and buying and buying these things.
Yeah.
And where he told me, he's like, when they went to CDs, that's where they officially, destroyed the entire music industry, because that's such a universal product that anybody can get them.
Yeah.
Nowadays, even up to this day, they still don't have a new platform, and the whole streaming platform they try replacing CDs with, it's not good at all. They should have kept it with the CDs and things like that. So
I think the best thing that they like, the best conceptually different model for monetizing music was Tidal, but it's proving to be just like the for artist by artist bullshit. Like it's Spotify is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think that kind of like started out with a theory that was the correct one, but it's like, I think it's always too bad that I think that there needs to be a way for artists to like be able, the way that the internet democratized content distribution, I think that there needs to be a way to democratize the monetization of content distribution. And I don't know what that looks like. Maybe like Patreon, I think, has the ability to catch on a little bit. You ever looked into Patreon?
No, I haven't. What do
so
they do?
Patreon is like, for me as a a video creator, somebody who makes the Honeywave Media and Sioux City Show shit. Like if I build up a fan base, and rather than say, I'm gonna run ads on these and treat my audience like they're idiots who are gonna get sold shit. Rather than do that, I can, get on these podcasts and I can say like, if you like Honeywave Media, for $10 a month, you can support the show, and give like some kind of like, a giveaway kind of deal or whatever, a freebie. You get like a sticker pack every month or a pen, a limited edition pen or something like that. But it's pretty cool. It's a way like a lot of comedians are monetizing podcasts and stuff like that. It's, if you have a community that you're providing value for, it's a way for them to go like, hey, I appreciate the shit you do. Here's $3 a month for what you do. But it's pretty cool. It's and I think like 95% of the money ends up in the artist's pocket.
Nice.
Yeah. But I don't know what that looks like for music groups and all that kind of stuff. If there's a way to really do it, but I think that there is something to be said about providing value as an artist to an audience,
right?
And as an audience, finding some way to give a little bit of money back to people that provide you entertainment, I suppose.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a. Who Do you guys have any like physical CDs out? Do you guys do physical albums?
Yeah, we're gonna push that a lot more this year. The very first one that we did was Cino's pregame EP.
Dope.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring any with me. Otherwise, I would have given you one by now. But that was the very first one we did, and we only did an order of 100 copies to see how well it does.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have shows, I put them out. We're out there offering people, hey, you want to buy a CD for $5? They'll be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
They just kind of walk over it. So you go over and you buy a shot that costs you $6. That'll last you 2 seconds.
They're not going to support a local artist.
They're not
not even like a local artist, but a talented artist.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that local shit. I hate saying local.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, everybody's talented in their own way, man, and everybody provides some sort of unique, something different with what they can do with music,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they'll like I said, they'll go blow $6 on a shot, but they won't do a $5 album, and they'll just walk past it and blow it like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, what the hell?
That's actually, I think that 2017 vinyl surpassed CD sales.
Really?
I know my sister's band 35th and Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 80% sure off the top of my head that they sell more vinyl than CDs. They got like when they did their album, got like 1,000 copies of the vinyl.
And that's what my dresser was telling me today in the studio too. He said vinyl's making a big comeback too.
Uh-huh.
You see a lot of these artists; they're all starting to make vinyl copies. So
Yep.
It's kind of impressive. So
yeah, I don't know if it like plays as well in the hip hop community though, because like I have Tupac, Kid Cudi, all that, Wu-Tang, all that on vinyl, but I rarely listen.
Exactly.
I go to like the old shit before I go to anything hip hop.
And I see Tech Nine's been doing it a lot lately too. Anything that he releases, you can get it in vinyl too. It's like, holy shit! I didn't know they can do that. So, but yeah, I mean, the vinyl's making a big comeback. It really is. So that might be another one we might look into and try it out, see how well it plays. So.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's not like CDs where, if you were really ambitious and you have a computer with a CD burner and a stack of blank CDs and a label printer, you could do it your damn self.
Right.
But with vinyl, it's like, I think that the boutique spots or the boutique shops are that take like orders of less than 1,000 or whatever are all based in like Romania, where you got to go back and forth with them for 3 weeks before you even get. And I think I know when my sister got her last album mastered, there was a mastered for iTunes version and there was a mastered for vinyl version. So I don't know what the difference is, or if everybody needs to do that. But yeah, it's definitely there's definitely 2 exports of every song. So.
Yeah, there's just different formats. I mean, whenever you upload songs into the third-party stores that I use to get it uploaded through like iTunes, Spotify, it has to be uploaded in WAV file. It can't be your regular MP3.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever it has to be in a different format for vinyl, yeah, I completely understand that too. So
yeah.
Does
it like is it like 96 kilobytes a second or whatever is the minimum? Because I think CDs are like 144 or something like that.
I don't know for sure.
Come on, man.
I know. Come on. I don't know.
The business, not the scientist.
I'm not the engineer here. I'm just a businessman. No, but usually we got to export them out at, what is it, 44.1 kilohertz or something like that, and then at 16-bit ratio.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell it is, but I always see that's like 44.1 and then 16-bit and then on stereo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so much behind it. I'm just like, okay, sure. Get it done that way.
For sure.
Yep.
So this brings us to the biggest part of the show.
Yeah.
And that is Sioux City's most slept on. It can be anything in Sioux City that you think everybody needs to know about, but not enough people know about right now.
Oh.
What's your pick?
My pick on that, man, as oddly as it sounds, Walmart pickup. Have you ever tried that? Have you heard of it? I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I actually this is disgusting, but
Bro.
on the way here, I stopped at Walmart over on Floyd for an Egg McMuffin in the McDonald's there, but and I saw the Walmart pickup tower, and it's probably the first time I've been in a Walmart in a year. I got Amazon Prime, so
oh man,
yeah,
okay, I hear you.
Yeah,
no, but I mean that. The reason why I say that's like it's the most slept on service in Sioux City is because you go to Walmart and you got to be around so many people. You gotta say excuse me, get out of the way. You're trying to get through. Next thing you know, you're spending there like an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours there, and you're just like, shit, man, I wish I could have done this quicker.
Yeah.
And then you just go online, you order your groceries, and sure as hell they'll send you a text message when it's all ready to pick up. Park on the side of the building, call the number and they'll be out like in 5 minutes and then you're gone. So you're like literally 5-10 minutes at Walmart and then you got all your groceries all picked up. And I'm pretty sure these guys have common sense to the point. Yeah, you don't check the vegetables, fruits, whatever, to make sure they're not all bruised up, look like shit, whatever the case may be.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've had nothing but good luck with them. And, you know, for me, with my regular daytime job, you know, with as much as I work, I hate to waste time on weekends and, you know, having to be like, shit, I got to go to Walmart and spend an hour and a half there, 2 hours.
Store.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas I can go do other things, hang out with my family and whatnot. And, you know, just, 5-10 minutes, man. It's a time saver, man. Mm-hmm. It really is. And you don't see a whole lot of people like, I'm surprised that I'm surprised this whole thing isn't filled up at all times, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, I think that's literally the most underrated service in Sioux City.
I should look into that because I am one of the most impatient people in the world.
Right.
If I'm not, then the world's in trouble because I live right by Hy-Vee.
Right.
And I'll go into Hy-Vee. I'll get like 3 things, right? And I always go at odd times, so there would be like 2 people working the registers, and I'll walk over to the register, and if there's like a line of 8 people, I'm like, I don't need this stuff. I just
exactly
go put it back, and I walk out. Yep. Like I'm not trying to wait in the line tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, you go inside Walmart, you're just like, man, you have 20 different registers, but you only got 2 working, and you're just like, oh my god, you know, you're sitting there another 15-20 minutes just waiting there to get cash your shit out, but yeah. Like I said, it's just a big time saver. You should try it. So.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do it. I'm telling you.
And my most slept on thing in Sioux City. This is tough. We're on episode 11 here, so I'm digging in the bag. But I don't know if I've said this before. I don't think I have. Diving Elk is the best restaurant that's not Mexican food or Vietnamese food in Sioux City. It is like, if you want a standard American dinner, Diving Elk is the spot to go.
You know, I've never been in Diving Elk. I'm going to have to try it for sure. What would you recommend?
Okay. I get the same shit every time.
Mm-hmm.
Poutine. I love poutine. I get it every time I see it on a menu. It's like a open face hot beef sandwich. I do the same thing. Every time I see it, I get it.
Okay.
But poutine is outstanding there. They used to do it with, poutine is French fries and gravy.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
French fries and gravy. And it used to have... it's got like Wisconsin cheese curds in it, and now it has I want to say like beef brisket, maybe chopped beef brisket. It used to have elk wurst. The elk wurst was bomb. The beef brisket, whatever they have on it now, is currently bomb. You get it for the fried egg on top, get that yolk running in there, outstanding. But the best part about Diving Elk, their food's pretty good. I'll give it, their food's pretty good. But they have the best craft beer selection in Sioux City. They really give a damn about choosing a selection that is varied and constantly rotating. Like they only buy like pony kegs of each one of their beers. It's constantly rotating, and the staff all knows about the beer. They know about the food. They're good. They're good waiters and waitresses. Is a top 10 atmosphere, and it's just so good. And they do flights with their craft beers, so you can get 4 different beers. They're all 5 ounces each, and it's a great deal. I recommend that anybody who's looking for a nice restaurant to have a nice meal with their lovers, go ahead and do it at Diving Elk. That is it's a sure way to get some loving, because if you're not in the mood after Diving Elk, then
something's wrong with you, apparently, I guess.
Well,
right?
It works, Yeah.
Shawnee Palace is another good spot too, man.
Hey! I got
yeah
many episodes left on this thing. Yeah. Don't be throwing out too many recommendations. Oops, here.
My bad.
Yeah, pump brakes on the Indian food, man. But yeah, I love it. So where can people find Forewarned Records? Yourself, whatever you want to plug. Where can people find you on the internet?
All they got to do is really, you got to go to google.com or go to Google. Type in 401 Records. We'll be all over. We'll pop up on iTunes. We'll pop up on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Just type in 401 Records and we're all over. You'll see our you'll see the news article that we did with Chris, then the one with Jamie Perez on KCAU 9.
Yep.
You just type it in 401 Records. Easy to find, and it'll be all over. So.
Love it. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
I gotta plug my shit here. My name is Taylor Grote. I host this thing. I'd really love it if you checked us out on YouTube and subscribe to the Honeywave Media YouTube page, and then go to Facebook and click like on the Honeywave Media Facebook page. And what else could you do? You could follow me on Twitter. It's at Taylor J Grote, Grote. Follow me on Instagram. It's at Taylor Grote Media. Again, that is Grote. That is an unfortunate pronunciation of an otherwise fine last name. And that's it. Thank you so much. We're 11 episodes in. We're coming back strong with number 12. Later.